He's the ultimate pawn, but the ultimate political player. Oh, by the way, if there's any peacekeepers out there, don't go on a mission with Captain Braca because you don't come back. You'd think they would learn that, wouldn't you?
I don't question High Command.
Unacceptable.
Down there!
I hate him. Unacceptable.
I didn't audition. I went in one evening and had a meeting with Andrew Prowse. Actually, before I went in, I thought it was called Farscape, about firemen, but I was totally wrong. And no, I didn't audition. I just chatted with him, and he told me they were looking for a sidekick for Scorpius. So I actually started the next day in a pair of gumboots, like, because they didn't have time to make a costume, which is like rubber, you know, galoshes. So I thought, this isn't very sci-fi.
ESAS reports a confirmed location on one of the escaped Leviathan transport pods. It's landed on one of the deep field asteroids.
Yeah, there was all this stuff that was Farscape talk that was very hard to learn because
Captain.
I'd never encountered those terms before or knew what they meant.
Scorpius.
I didn't know what a micro was, what anything was. And it was a scary introduction because everyone was, apart from working together, they'd all been working together. I came in at the end of season 1, so they were all used to working together. But more importantly, for me, and they had a shorthand, which, you know, obviously any group of people working together develop. But they knew the world, and I didn't. I had no frelling idea what was going on.
Lieutenant, your recent performance has been exemplary.
Thank you, sir.
I was always very sure that Braca wasn't an extra. I imagine that the show is written about this lieutenant who is, in one way or another, tiptoeing across the minefield of Sebastian politics and not only staying alive but thriving.
I hope my conduct continues to find favour.
This guy came up to me and gave me this big hug and said, "Hey man, I love what you're doing." On the set one, oh, thank you. And it was David Kemper. And he said, you know, he said he had plans for me and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And what he'd seen, what he'd struck onto was there was a scene, I can't even remember it very clearly, but Scorpius throws some ornament at me.
We'll find him.
That's right, at Braca. And then, Wayne just did improvise that in the take, and I took the ball and then shoved it at his nurse. And David picked up on that and thought, well, I like the fact that there's a life going on there. There's a power play. And so he picked up on that and thought, well, this is yeah, we can develop Braca.
This transmission can only be one thing. A Leviathan distress call.
And if Moy is anywhere in the area, she should come running.
My relationship with Wayne has been fantastic. At the beginning, most of my work was with him, and it was life imitating art because I was finding my feet as an actor. So there was that power situation of status. I was able to use that as an actor. He was established, he knew what he was doing. I was still finding my feet, so that was good. And he was great to work with because we'd play off each other, and it was dangerous. So I wouldn't know what he was going to do. Sometimes he wouldn't know what I was going to do. And he's mad bastard as well.
This is for all the times I had to say yes.
He's going, kick me, Dave. No, harder, Dave. I'm going, fine, okay, buddy. And that was another defining moment, great moment for Braca, because revenge. I can honestly say that he's been terrific to team up with, and it was fun to play off each other. And I loved the danger that there was, because anything could happen. If an officer superior to you orders it, I will similarly execute you without hesitation.
So says every one of your psychological evaluations, Captain Braca.
He's not only survived, but he's moved up. And to do that with serving under Scorpius and Commandant Grazer, that's no small mean feat. You've got to admire that. You may not like him, but you've got to admire that. I think his perception of having a lady boss would be there'd be a few scattered cushions around, and maybe the Aurora would have, Lady Aurora. A few feminine touches. But yeah, she's a Black Widow.
What is that?
An explanation would be pointless. You'd retain no memory of it. Screeth. Can you hear me? It's Grazer. Report.
I hear you.
He becomes her stooge, which is very undignified. And Braca is full of hubris. And, to be... Not even to be sexually molested at work, to be mock sexually molested. That's even worse. Mum!
Captain, that was the best ever. You continue to amaze me.
I'm glad I could be of service. Very demeaning. But necessary, so... Which is more important?
Closer. Closer. Down. On your knees.
Power is an ultimate aphrodisiac.
Are there any other vessels
You know.
near the planet?
And her scratch and sniff is getting him off guard. And so those repressed emotions and desires are in real danger of surfacing. There's no room for vulnerability. That's dangerous.
Braca, does it bother you what has happened to Scorpius?
No.
We won't need a squadron. We'll go to the planet together. You and me, 3 marauders, 20 soldiers.
Why?
I always assumed John Crichton was just an outlaw. An excuse for Scorpius' mistakes. But he destroyed a command carrier. The Scarrans desire him. Perhaps, somehow, I can use him. Perhaps Scorpius' enemy will be my friend.
I'll tell you one interesting thing. I was watching season 4, I think, and there was all this kooky stuff at the first couple of episodes that I didn't understand. And then Erin came back, and I was watching the episode because I was in it. And I was mesmerised by the storytelling. I thought, wow, I'm a part of this. Woo.
Sir.
Inch bracelets. Put one on Braca. Cardago. If you will.
What does it do?
This gets you on board my ship.
Put it on.
Braca. Pay homage to the Domina.
What?
I invite you, Domina, to attack the Lieutenant.
I have no quarrel with him.
Humor me.
The bazaar became another day at the office. You'd always be in these extraordinary, incomprehensible situations, and you had to come up with a truth that was worthy of everyone else's commitment to the show. And as an actor, that was a dream to do. And also, I think something that flavoured the show is that we shot it in Australia, and I think our Australian sensibility came to influence the style of the show. Not only in the sense, not only from the fact that you've got very experienced actors that haven't been seen before, but I think the Australian sensibility there, our sense of irony, we have a slightly different take on things that added to Crichton being in another world. He was the American and we were all the aliens, and I think that was a fascinating. I think it would have been a different flavoured show if it had been shot in America. Could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Lieutenant Braca, I predicted your rise in this organization. I stand by that prediction. You are a consummate peacekeeper.
I went to work in an industrial estate in Homebush, and I'd heard that the show had touched a lot of, had connected with a lot of people, but I didn't really have any idea. The people that seem to watch the show are not what I expected a fan to be. It's really not. And most of the people are, I'm not going to say run of the mill, because to watch Farscape you have to have a slight edge to you, but you've got this doctors, lawyers, much more intelligent people than me following the show, and it's been a community base too that I had no idea. It's been fascinating to see that Farscape has been a starting point for these disparate people to actually come together, and that has been their starting point for their interest. It's been the show, and then friendships, relationships form, for God's sake. Sometimes things that go on after hours here at conventions, you poof, whoa.
Wherever this Earth is, the journey there is obviously impractical without wormhole travel. And only Crichton can command that.
Then our best alternative is to seize him, learn what we can from him, then execute him.
It's so weird when you work on, because you go to work, and you know it's special, but you're going to work, and you just, when you see it and everything's all come together, it's still astounds me.
Does Grazer know you're my spy?
No. But she'll figure it out when she discovers you're alive.
She must never find that out.
We've got to stop her. She's organising a peace initiative with the Scarrans.
They're using her. They'll agree to everything, then betray us when their forces are battle ready.
What shall I do?
Stall her, Braca. I'm not given to exaggeration, but the future of peacekeeper survival depends on you.